The story begins with a young man named Toy, who doesn't have a job, but that doesn't mean he's useless. Toy is really good at drawing, but his life is far from normal. Something strange but exciting happens to him. One day, Toy wishes that every day could feel like New Year's Eve, and surprisingly, his wish comes true. Now, Toy wakes up every morning on December 31st. Toy is a mischievous older brother who loves teasing his little sister Rin. Even though Rin is focused on practicing hard to get a scholarship at a university, Toy can't help but bother her. Since Toy has been stuck in this repeating day for a while, he knows all of Rin's tricks to fight back. Toy's unusual life gives him some interesting abilities. He always knows when to save a falling glass or stop his dad's cooking from burning. He even copies what people say on TV just for fun. Toy also tries out different things every day by becoming a boxer, a cosplayer, a Bajaj driver, and even a rock star who parties nonstop. He lives without worrying about wasting his youth. At first, this new life seems amazing, but soon, Toy gets tired of repeating the same day over and over again. He starts to feel bored and frustrated. When he realizes no one in his family seems to care about his strange experience, Toy decides to visit his friend, Jack, for a change of scenery. Turns out this wasn't the first time Toy surprised Jack by guessing exactly where the enemies were hiding in the game Jack was playing. But this time, Jack had an interesting idea. He said that if Toy's life was like a game, then it might have a glitch. To fix it, Toy needed to figure out a way to stop the endless loop and break free from reliving the same day. Toy thought Jack's idea made sense, but he wasn't sure how to fix it yet. Toy kept thinking about what Jack had said, and while he didn't know the answer, something unusual happened. During a strange moment, Toy overheard a woman who seemed to understand exactly what he was experiencing. Curious, Toy quickly sketched her face from memory and began searching for her. Not far from where the strange event happened, Toy found a clue about the woman he was looking for. She was in the middle of an argument about a dog. Both she and another woman believed the dog belonged to them. After a while, they realized the dog actually wasn't hers. Once the misunderstanding was cleared up, Toy introduced himself to the woman. Her name was V. At first, V didn't recognize Toy. But after Toy explained what had happened, V began to understand. She revealed that she was also going through the same thing. Just like Toy, V was stuck on December 31st, repeating the same day over and over again. Together, they decided to figure out what was causing it and how they could stop it. Toy was excited to finally have someone who shared the same strange experience. He wanted to get closer to V, but she wasn't so easy to befriend. V told Toy that she would only agree to be friends if he could remember her phone number the next day. She explained that no matter how many times he wrote it down, the only way to keep it safe was to memorize it. Determined to prove himself, Toy worked hard to remember V's number, and he succeeded. They made plans to meet at a cute and trendy cafe that was popular on TikTok. V showed up, but for some reason, didn't go inside. Toy waited and waited, but she never came in. Even though she didn't reply to his messages, Toy kept going back to the cafe every day, hoping she would finally meet him. He stayed so long that the cafe staff had to wake him up when they were closing. Seeing how determined and patient Toy was, V finally showed up the next day. They sat down together and started talking about their lives. That's when Toy learned that V was the daughter of a super rich businessman who loved collecting vintage cars. They also shared stories about what they had been doing while stuck in the time loop. Unlike Toy, who tried all sorts of fun and crazy things, V admitted that she mostly repeated her usual, boring routines every day. After their talk the day before, V became more open to trying new things and enjoying life. They decided to visit an art exhibit in the city, but V didn't find it very exciting. Instead, she came up with a wild idea that they went to a currency exchange, not to exchange money for a trip abroad, but to stage a fake robbery with Toy pretending to be the robber. This didn't end well, as Toy got shot by the security guard. Luckily, because of the time loop, Toy woke up again the next day, perfectly fine. V explained that she was just following Toy's advice to try new things and live life differently. Their adventure continued at a pier on the edge of the city. V took Toy there to watch birds catching fish. She told Toy that she had seen this happen many times before and felt her life was just like the fish cause it stuck in the same routine every day. V admitted that most of her days were spent searching for her lost dog, and she had never thought about having fun. But thanks to Toy's encouragement to explore new things, her days started to feel more exciting and colorful. Even so, V's habit of sticking to her usual routine didn't disappear entirely. Like today, when she turned down Toy's invitation to go for a walk, saying she had something important to do. But Toy managed to convince her by saying they might witness a beautiful moment in the world, something most people might only see once in a lifetime. As time went on, Toy and V continued to experience the repeating days together, filling them with new and fun activities. They helped a turtle cross the road, watched tiny flowers catch drops of water from drying laundry, enjoyed the sweet bond of a father and child playing in the rain, and admired a rainbow. Every moment was filled with smiles and laughter that lit up their faces. One moment stood out to V the most. She captured a picture for her phone gallery of a street cleaner sitting in a truck with angel wings painted on it. It was a scene that truly moved her. At the end of each day, V would always drop Toy off at his home. But there was something V never shared. She always got a phone call from someone asking her to come to a certain place. She never told Toy who was calling or where she was going. Even though they were having so much fun, Toy and V still worked together to find a way to escape the endless loop they were stuck in. And V, who was smarter than Toy, came up with a theory. She explained that their lives were like a cube inside another cube. Their time loop happened because there was a gap between the two cubes that wasn't connected properly. To escape the loop, they had to find the gap and fix it. She said every cube has points, and their job was to find all the points, connect them, and close the gap so their lives could return to normal. But Toy didn't fully understand V's explanation, so she made it simpler. She compared them to the planet Pluto, which was real, but forgotten by the solar system. Hearing the word planet, Toy suddenly had an idea that they should visit a planetarium. Unfortunately, their plan didn't work. The planetarium system broke down, leaving it completely dark. V's disappointment was clear on her face, and she didn't say a single word as they left. Seeing her so upset, Toy decided to do everything he could to cheer her up. He tried all sorts of things like driving a tuk-tuk, pretending to be a rock star, and even dancing at a New Year's party. Toy did it all just to bring back V's smile. While dancing enthusiastically, V injured her foot, and Toy carefully helped her treat it. From that moment on, V couldn't stop smiling, enjoying the fun and happiness she shared with Toy every day. Soon after, Toy and V decided to exchange gifts as a small way to celebrate, just like people do on New Year's Eve. Normally, people give gifts on New Year's to wish each other good fortune. But since every day for them was New Year's, they chose to exchange things that were special to them. V gave Toy her hairpin, a simple item that became meaningful when she used it to style Toy's hair. In return, Toy gave V his watch, something very precious to him because it had belonged to his late mother. Suddenly, V mentioned something unexpected. She said that if they ever passed away, maybe they could become stars in the sky and watch over the people they love. But then, she admitted she sometimes wished to stay in the loop forever so she could always be near the people she cared about without fearing loss. That night, Toy drew a picture of V, capturing her sweet smile. While he was busy sketching, his little sister, Rin, suddenly appeared and startled him. Rin looked at the drawing and commented on how beautiful the woman was, then teasingly asked how long they had been dating. Embarrassed, Toy quickly denied it, saying they weren't a couple and that his feelings were one-sided. Unfortunately, Toy's confession was met with teasing from Rin. Annoyed by her jokes, Toy told her to leave, but Rin came back with a good idea. Inspired by her suggestion, Toy decided to bring V to the rooftop of a building. There, he created a large drawing of all their memories together. Toy worked hard on the drawing, hoping to bring a smile back to V's face. He told her that the time loop they were stuck in must have a reason, even though he didn't know what it was. V simply smiled, but she felt sad that the beautiful drawings would disappear the next day, leaving only the memory of them in her mind. To surprise her, Toy also set up a projector that played a video resembling a planetarium. V was overjoyed and thanked Toy for all he had done for her. She even began to feel the same love for Toy that he felt for her. However, when she leaned in to kiss him, V stopped herself, admitting she wasn't ready. She reminded Toy that they were still stuck in the loop, and she needed more time to figure out her feelings. Just then, V's phone rang again. The mysterious call, which came every night, signaled that it was time for them to part ways. Feeling sad, Toy returned home, only to have a serious conversation with his father. His dad expressed his frustration, saying he was tired of seeing Toy spend every day doing nothing meaningful, just drawing random things, wandering around, and never helping at home. He told Toy that unless he changed, he wouldn't have a future. Hearing his father's harsh words, Toy felt angry. Even though it wasn't the first time he had heard them, this time, he couldn't hold back his frustration. Toy shouted back, saying no one cared about him or his life. He accused his father of always criticizing his hobby, without ever understanding what he had been going through. Filled with anger, Toy stormed off to his room, but stopped when he heard the sound of a saxophone coming from Rin's room. Planning to vent his anger on her, Toy froze when he saw Rin crying. That day, Rin had failed to get the scholarship she had worked so hard for. She explained that she was desperate to get into a public university because a private one wasn't an option cause they couldn't afford it. Their father's business was struggling, and his coffee shop had very few customers. Rin shared that their family's remaining money was barely enough to buy food, which was why their father had been pushing Toy to find a job. Rin's frustration showed clearly as she looked at Toy. She couldn't hold back her feelings anymore. She thought about how much she and their dad worried about him every day, while Toy acted like he was the only one with problems. Rin wanted him to see that their struggles were real too, and that they cared about him. She wondered if Toy realized who was actually being selfish, him or the family trying to support him. Every word Rin said hit Toy deeply, filling him with guilt. As Rin began to cry even harder, Toy hugged her tightly and apologized for being so careless and distant from his family. Toy's guilt grew even stronger when he checked his dad's Facebook. To his surprise, he realized that his dad had unfriended him. What shocked Toy even more was seeing how his dad had been posting Toy's drawings on Facebook all this time, adding kind words of praise with every post. Whenever someone asked who made the drawings, his dad proudly said they were done by his son. Toy couldn't hold back his tears when he saw a video his dad had posted that morning. In the video, his dad looked sad because Toy never wanted to taste the burnt bread he had made. His dad knew the bread was burnt, but he had tried his best to cook for Toy after their mom passed away. Toy's mind drifted to memories of the past, back when their family was whole and happiness felt so close and simple. It was so different from what Toy felt now. Toy woke up with tears in his eyes and finally realized his mistakes. Determined to change, he started fixing his life, even though he still kept his playful side. He went to Rin's room to cheer her up, wished her success in getting the scholarship she had worked so hard for, and promised to take her there himself. The following day, Toy started changing his habits. Instead of catching the glass when his dad accidentally dropped it, he let it break and cleaned up the mess himself. When Rin tried to help, Toy stopped her, worried she might get hurt. He also decided to eat the burnt bread his dad made, even though he admitted it tasted awful. Despite that, he finished every bite without complaint. True to his promise, Toy supported Rin as she prepared for her scholarship audition. His encouragement gave Rin the confidence to perform perfectly. Her saxophone performance amazed everyone, drawing gasps of admiration from the audience. Toy and their dad watched proudly, their eyes filled with pride for Rin. With her family's support, Rin finally achieved her dream of winning the scholarship she had worked so hard for. That day, their family was filled with joy. Since it was December 31st, their dad hosted a small party to celebrate while waiting for the new year. Rin gently thanked Toy, her words touching his heart deeply. It had been so long since he'd heard such comforting words, and he almost cried. The family prayed together, wishing for good things in the new year, but Toy stayed quiet. Deep down, he knew he wouldn't reach the new year because of the time loop. As they counted down to midnight, Toy experienced the loop again, restarting his day. Despite the cycle repeating, the happiness he felt earlier made his heart full. It gave him new determination to break free from the loop. Toy decided to visit Jack to look for answers. Jack took him to his uncle, a physics expert. The uncle explained that Toy's life was like a spinning wheel, always moving in circles. Although the explanation confused Toy at first, his mind opened up when he saw Jack's cousin playing with a toy airplane nearby. After being apart for a while due to Heartbreak, Toy finally reached out to V and asked to meet her again. He apologized for what happened on the rooftop and shared his new idea to escape the time loop, taking a plane. Excited about the plan, they bought tickets to Japan. Toy was confident this would work. However, just before the plane took off, V told Toy she needed to use the restroom. Toy let her go, but she didn't come back. Instead, she sent him a message saying she couldn't join him because she wasn't ready to leave yet. Toy was heartbroken and disappointed, but couldn't leave the plane since it had already started moving. He decided to try the idea on his own, nervous about whether it would work. If it succeeded, he knew he might never see V again, but he was tired of being stuck in the loop. Sadly, the plan failed, and Toy found himself back where he started. Frustrated, Toy returned to Jack's uncle's house, angry that the idea didn't work. Feeling defeated, Toy spent his time drawing V's face, unable to get her out of his mind. As usual, Rin noticed the drawing and teased him, asking if it was his girlfriend. This time, Toy replied differently, saying he had been dumped by the woman in the drawing. Rin was upset that someone had hurt her brother. Before Rin could say more, V suddenly appeared at their coffee shop. She apologized for what happened the day before and admitted she had been afraid. But now, V said she was ready and had figured out a way to escape the loop. She explained her plan and told Toy he didn't have to join her, but if he wanted to, she would be waiting in the car. Without hesitation, Toy agreed to go with her. Once in the car, V revealed that she had visited Jack earlier. She felt guilty about leaving Toy behind and hoped Jack might have a solution. Although Jack didn't provide answers, watching him play a video game gave V a new idea. She realized their problem could be solved with a map, just like the ones used in games to find hidden paths. Soon after, V invited Toy to visit places that held special memories for both of them. Together, they marked these spots on a map. When V connected the dots on the map, the shape of a cube within a cube appeared just like her earlier theory. But this cube had one missing piece. After checking, V realized the missing spot was the hospital. She fell silent for a moment before suggesting they take a break. Finally, V opened up to Toy and shared her story. For a long time, she had been caring for her mother, who was hospitalized. The phone calls Toy always heard every night were from the hospital, letting her know that her mother was in critical condition. But no matter how quickly V rushed to the hospital, she could never be by her mother's side during her last moments. In her sadness, V had prayed for one thing, which to stay with her mother forever. That wish came true. However, whether it was a blessing or a curse, V couldn't decide. She was happy her prayer was granted, but heartbroken because she had to relive her mother's passing every single day. When Toy had given V the watch from his late mother, it had deeply touched her. It reminded her of the pain of losing a loved one, which is why she had talked about death that day. V then addressed what happened at the airport. She admitted that she might have hurt or disappointed Toy when she suddenly left the plane. But she reminded him of the message she sent that night, a message that Toy now understood. Leaving the plane hadn't made V happy. She spent the entire time thinking about Toy, wondering if his plan would succeed or fail. V had already lost her mother and couldn't bear the thought of losing Toy on the same night. From all her experiences in the time loop, one thing puzzled V: why Toy had also been trapped. But after spending so much time with him and growing close, V finally understood why Toy was stuck in the same loop. That night, V took Toy to the hospital and introduced him to her mom, saying he was the person she had talked about earlier that morning. V's voice trembled as she told her mom how much she wished they could spend more time together. But her mom gently interrupted her, reminding V about the importance of letting go. Following her mom's advice, V left the room with Toy to watch the fireworks from the rooftop. Tears streamed down V's face as she hugged her mom for the last time, saying her final goodbye. In that moment, V found peace in her heart and accepted that it was time to let her mom go. Feeling lighter than she had in a long time, V walked away with Toy. As they stood under the night sky, Toy gave V a necklace and said that meeting her had changed his perspective. V, he explained, wasn't like Pluto, who was distant and forgotten. Instead, she was like the sun in his solar system, shining brightly at the center of his world. Toy expressed his wish to see V on other days of the year, not just on December 31st. With hope and determination, Toy looked at the night sky, confident that they could escape the time loop. V had finally made peace with her grief, and Toy had come to understand the emptiness in his own heart. Both felt that this was the perfect moment to break free. As the year changed, they finally escaped the time loop and stepped into a new day together. The film ends. The moral lesson from this film is be careful what you wish for, unless you really want to spend forever eating burnt bread and chasing a girl who ghosted you at an airport. Turns out, time loops are just boring reruns with extra drama.